Hey Biz Bestie and soon to be new mama. How exciting. Getting ready to have a baby, thinking about starting a business, wondering if you can do them both. The answer is yes, I've actually done it, but what we really need to talk through is your strategy, your expectations, and if it's really going to give you the results that you're wanting. Because the why you start the business is really important for how you frame the work that you do. So in this video, we are going to talk about what types of questions you should be asking yourself and discussing with your partner to make the right decision for you guys. And then if you do decide to start a business while you're on maternity leave, I'm gonna give you some tips for how you can do that and also still have that quality baby time because, oh my gosh, baby snuggles are the best. And then they grow up and they get big and they leave home and it goes by so fast. And if you stay until the end, I will give you my favorite baby gear item that actually helped me get so much more done. So if you decide to do it, this has got to be on your baby registry list. Okay, so my first question for you is how long is your maternity leave really? Are we talking you've got a 6-week maternity leave, you've got a 3-month maternity leave, you can take up to 6 months? How long the maternity leave really makes a difference in what you decide to do and when you decide to start the business. The second thing you need to be thinking about that really shapes this whole conversation is why are you wanting to start a business? Is it because you just don't want to go back after having the baby and you need to replace your income? Is it because you've always wanted to start a business and this just seems like a good opportunity to do it? And if you are trying to not go back, how much money do you actually have to be making in order to not go back? This is all really critical information because I'm going to shoot you straight. Okay, I started a business while I was on maternity leave. I actually launched it 6 weeks before my 5th son, Brendan, was born. I had a little window where I didn't have to do any work for the company that I was working with before. And then I had to come back and I had to wrap some things up. And they would not let me do Amy Walker Consulting and work for them at the same time. So I figured it out and I had this 3-month window in which I was gonna have to, my income from the other company was gonna be gone. So I had 3 months and my maternity leave was not paid, it was unpaid. So it was really this tight squeeze and this tight balance. So knowing that my goal was not just that I was trying to not go back, it was I really felt called to start a business. If you just don't want to go back to your job, my recommendation is that you actually find a work from home position that just fits your needs as a new mom better. It's a lot easier. You should never start a business just because you don't want to go back to your job. I'm just being honest. But if your desire is really you want to start a business, then yes, maternity leave, it can be done. It's not necessarily always easy though. So assuming that you do want to start the business and that the goal is to replace your income, we're gonna need to really consider a lot of things in here. So number one, timing really matters, okay? It really does matter. And maternity leave may or may not be the right timing for you to start this business. So this is something I want you to really honestly consider is you don't ever get that time back. I cannot go back to when Brendan was 2 weeks old and snuggle him. He's very hard to snuggle these days. He is 9 and he is all over the place and loves running away from me when I try to snuggle him. The other thing that you've got to consider is your physical recovery and recuperation. I have had 5 kids. That is the only time I've ever had postpartum. And I truly think it was because I was pushing my body so hard. I had a C-section. I had 4 other children that I was taking care of, largely by myself. I was launching this business. The time that I should have been spending napping was time that I was spending working. And so that's the first time ever that I've had postpartum, and the recovery was harder and it was longer. Let's be very clear, maternity leave is not downtime. It's not downtime. It is time where you take care of another human who is attached to you 24/7 and depends on you for absolutely everything that they need. So this isn't downtime, and you shouldn't be looking at it what can I do during my downtime? It's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel exhausting emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all the leaves. It's just gonna be a lot. So you really need to ask yourself, why now? What's the reason for why now? Because number one, I felt called to start this business. And my company was like, nope, you can't do both at the same time. So I had to look at it and go, okay, well, am I gonna follow inspiration or am I gonna follow policy? I gotta follow inspiration. Like, I know that's where I'm supposed to go. Number two, I really wanted my husband to be able to stop working nights. And I really wanted him to be able to be more involved with my kids. And so I knew that this short-term window where it was going to be really hard was going to pay off in the long run. That my kids don't even remember really the fact that they never saw their dad. They do recognize, the older ones, that they don't have memories of their dad when they were little, but they don't remember that he was gone. Had we waited any longer, they would have remembered all the stuff their dad missed. So they just know him as the guy who's always around, but can't like really place why they don't remember him from when they were little. It's kind of funny. And my younger two, they always grew up having their dad around. So for them, like, that's just the norm. So there was a specific reason why this was the time when it needed to happen. Okay, so if you're still with me and you're like, yeah, I still want to start a business on maternity leave, awesome. You've got the right motivations, you've got the right reasons. I think you've also probably got the right expectations. So now let me give you my suggestions. Number one is enlist all the help. All the help as long as you can possibly get it. This means spouse, co-parent. This means your parents. This means your spouses or co-parents' parents. This means your siblings, your friends, literally every person that offers that they want to help you, your answer is going to be yes. And I know, like with your first baby, it's so hard because you don't want to pass them off to anybody, but you're going to need to have people who like literally just hold the baby while you work on things and then bring you the baby when you need to feed the baby. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to be realistic about how much you can decrease expenses to decrease the pressure on you. We did this when I was starting the business. We went through and we're like, okay, if we cut out this and this and this and this, and we just took it down to the very bare bones budget, how much do I actually have to bring in? And I remember my number was, I had signed up for a big coaching package, so my payments were $2,500 a month, and I had to bring in $2,000 to cover just the bare bones expenses for my family. And with that and my husband's paycheck, we could do bare bones. So we cut everything down that we could. We figured out we were willing to make the sacrifice. Literally no money was going into savings at that point in time, but we were gonna get by. And so $4,500 was my amount. I had to do $4,500 every single month. And once I knew what that number was, I could go after it and I could create a plan to transact that. Now, your situation might be different. You might have money in savings that you could draw from and it takes the pressure off a little bit. But I'm telling you, I would rather not go on vacation and not have cable than give yourself this insurmountable amount of pressure because you're trying to replace an $8K per month income, something like that. Get it down as small as possible. The next thing we're gonna look at is what is the fastest path to the sale? If you are in a service-based business, I would look for a couple of retainer clients that you could find where it's almost like you're working for them, but you're not because you're an independent contractor, right? So see if you could find, and I know that might not be what you want to do forever, but if you look at what do you currently do for work, there is another company out there that would pay for you to do that for them. And now you can do it from home and you can do it on your own terms. If you could get a couple of clients on monthly retainer, it takes away the mental pressure of needing to close deals all of the time. So get the fastest path to the sales and the simplest path to getting whatever that cash number is that you know that you need to have. That becomes your primary focus in the beginning. All right, sleep is so important. Oh my gosh, sleep is so important. Now, I know this has a lot of opinions from a lot of people, but I'm just gonna tell you what I did with my last one. I co-slept because my husband worked nights, so I had nobody to help at night. It was literally me and all 5 kids. I had an 18-month-old who still decided to wake up and party sometimes at like 4 in the morning. And then I had a kindergartner, a 2nd grader, and a 5th grader who had to be at school every morning. So I needed sleep, and I knew that I couldn't nap during the day because I needed work during the day. So I co-slept because it was the easiest way for me to get sleep. I know your situation's not my situation, but I am just going to tell you, find whatever you can to get the most amount of sleep possible because you're not gonna be napping like other new moms nap. You're gonna be working, and that's good It's gonna pay off in the long run. I told you I would tell you the number one thing that you need to buy. You need a baby wear, okay? If you want a Moby wrap or you want a sling or whatever you feel like is the most comfortable for you, there's probably newer, cooler things in the last 9 years. I could work while holding the baby, and for a while, it works really, really well. Like once the baby gets all flaily and mobile and stuff, it's not quite as easy, but for a newborn, that's gonna buy you so much time because they just feel like they're being held all the time. They get tons of good bonding time, but you have your hands free to do this and to do this, because that's what you're gonna be doing a ton of as you launch this business. I always had a mantra that whenever I was nursing or snuggling babies or just, doing something that like my kids needed 100% of my attention, I would tell myself, this is never a waste of time. This is the most important thing for me to do right now. And that would help me to stay plugged in and not be anxious about the long list of all the other things that I needed to do. So bestie, thank you so much for being here. Can I just say that I'm really excited for you? I would love to hear from you in the comments. When's your baby due? And also, what's your business idea? Because it's really gonna feel like birthing two things at once. So, at least you're in that mode, like birthing lots of things all at one time. So I cannot wait to hear from you. And now that you know the answer to, can I start a business while on maternity leave? The next video that I would go watch is, what does it mean to be a woman-owned business? There's a lot of contracts out there for women-owned businesses, so this might be something that you want to get for yours.